Hi, it's Joan. This week we're continuing on advanced play techniques and in particular looking at entries. The great American teacher Audrey Grant put together a terrific little book some years ago, which I had published in Australia, and it's called Entries: 5 Steps to Overcome Entry Problems. And as usual, Audrey makes things very simple and she offers 5 tips for how to make sure that you can make the most of the entries. Well, what is an entry? An entry actually consists of 2 cards. It's a way to get over to the hand you need to be in, because you can't, when you're playing and you've got dummy and your own hand to deal with, you can't count tricks as winners if you can't reach them. So firstly, we need a link card to cross us over to the entry. Link card is usually a small card, but it takes us over to the hand that we want to be in. Sometimes a link card is a big card, it's an honour, but we need to overtake it with a higher honour to reach the hand that we are trying to take the tricks from. When we're working on a suit too, we should keep entries in other suits as long as possible where we're working on a suit in case we need to lose a trick in it. For example, if we're promoting and we need to lose to the ace, then you won't be able to get over to that suit if you don't keep an entry near it. And the old principle of taking your winner in the shorter holding first applies very much when you need to keep a small card to cross over to your long suit winners. And sometimes if you don't have external entries, they are entries in other suits that will allow us to cross from one hand to the other. Let's say you've got 3 little cards and the ace and 4 other cards in the other hand, and you don't have any other way, aces and kings in other suits, to get over. Sometimes you've got to take your losses early. In other words, don't take a winner, so that you retain a little card to cross over to your winner at the end. And Audrey says that provided you've got these tips in your mind, you can do anything. So today's hand is a famous hand which was played in a contract a bit too high by 2 famous Americans, and it's all about entries. If you keep the 5 simple tips for making sure that you are crossing from one hand to the other when you need to, you'll be able to play this hand and make it. Give it a go, see how you go. I'm coming to the end of April Zoom lessons, and May's are underway. We're advertising for May. For some busy people, I've done 2 courses which are only 2 weeks. They're sort of like intensive lessons, and one of them is on 2 lots of doubles that you really need, the negative double and the balancing double. For newer players, I'm actually focusing on entries in another 2 lessons on Thursday mornings. And the main 4-lesson course that I'm doing for May is judgment, developing judgment at the bridge table. It's all about your way that you evaluate your hand, looking at what's good about it, what's not good about it, and whether to open one, whether to open a preempt, how your hand fits partner or how it doesn't fit partner. All of these things we'll be looking at in the lessons on judgment to help you make better decisions about what you bid and why on a hand. So I hope you have a good week, everyone. Imagine you picked up this hand. It has 21 high card points, but far more than that. It's got a solid 7-card spade suit and 3 aces and a void, and you could call this a 2 loser. So this is a very special hand. We would open it, of course, 2 clubs, our game force. And now we could say 2 spades because we're in a game force, Partner is given the negative or waiting bid of 2 diamonds. You knew that they'd have to do that. And we could say 2 spades or 3 spades. When someone starts with a game force and then jumps in their own suit, it's because they've got a totally solid suit. So let's say 3 spades. And that sets spades as trumps. Even if partner had no spades, spades would still be trumps. Partner's bid of 4 clubs acknowledges that we'll play spades and shows a control in clubs. Well, what's that all about? Because we've got the ace of clubs and the queen. They must have the king of clubs because we're playing first or second round controls at the same time. This hand actually went down into bridge history and was written up by Audrey Grant in her book on entries. It was played by 2 American experts and their bidding went a bit off the rails and they ended up in 7 spades. So although we would bid for no trumps and probably end up in 6 spades, I'm going to go to 7 today and see if we can make it. This is one of the famous hands of all time in bridge. So what to think about when we count the winners and we know that we can't have any losers? Well, we've got 4 club winners, got all the clubs. We've got the ace of hearts is 5. We've got 7 spades. So we've got 12 tricks on top. But where's that 13th trick? There are 2 places it could come from. One is by taking the heart finesse and hoping that the king is in the east hand. But if that fails, we're in all sorts of trouble. We won't have made the Grand Slam. The other is to turn our attention to diamonds. And we've got no diamonds in the south hand, opposite 5 in the north hand. One of 2 things could happen. If we trump the diamonds at any opportunity, and if the diamond suit against us broke 4-4, so the diamonds were 5-4-4 nil, then their 4 diamonds will fall as we trump them, and that will make our 5th diamond into a winner, and on that winner we can discard the losing or potentially losing heart jack. The other thing that could happen is that if we start trumping diamonds, the ace might fall, say, in the 3rd round, and that would promote the king, so that we could then discard the jack of hearts. When you plan to set up a side suit by trumping it out, you need, because you don't have any diamonds in the south hand, you need entries to get back to the north hand to keep doing it. And if you plan that you've got to trump diamonds 4 times in order to develop the 5th diamond, then you need 4 entries plus a 5th entry to come back to the north hand to enjoy the last diamond. So that's a lot of work thinking about all of that. But if we just follow the tips for developing tricks by using entries wisely, it'll be fine. So we need to find 5 entries. First of all, win the ace of clubs. And now notice that we've got all the solid spades, just missing the 9. We've got the 9 and the 8 in the dummy, but we've got all the rest here. Here are 2 entries. The 2 is a link card to the 8, and the 3 will be a link card to the 9. So that's 2 entries. And we should have 3 entries in the club suit. The way we play the club suit is crucial. So let's start by playing a spade over to the 8. That's taken 2 of them. Remember, we've got a 9 card spade fit. There are 2 spades out. And now trump a diamond. Whatever you do, don't trump low, because that 3 we need as a link card to get to the 9. So trump it with the ace. They're all the same. Now use the link card to draw trumps, and now the trumps are drawn. The trumps broke 2-2. There are no spades out and we've got the only spades. So play another diamond, trump it, and now use one of our entries play the Queen of Clubs because the clubs are all the same. All we need is the club suit to break. And we've gone over to the King, and we know for a fact that the club suit is breaking 3-2. So now play another diamond. The ace hasn't appeared, but that doesn't matter. The main point is that they are following with diamonds. Each opponent has shown 3 diamonds each so far. So now let's use this entry to overtake it with the Jack and now play a 4th round of diamonds. There's the ace. Trumpet. Down comes the Queen, the diamond suit is broken 4-4, and we've very carefully preserved an entry in the club suit. It's just the 4, because it's the second last club, to the last club in the deck, the 4 over to the 5. Now play the King of Diamonds, discarding the Heart Jack, and we've made 7. What an exciting hand. Most of us would not reach 7, but having overbid to the grand, we had to find a way to make it, and it all came down to just thinking about entries.